Hi, I'm Patrick Cawley with Keystone Elder Law in Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania. If you have watched a number of my videos, you have probably noticed some themes. One of those themes that I hope has stood out is that middle-class people cannot afford to have a simple, one-size-fits-all estate plan. Why? Because many people in the middle class will go broke if they need long-term care in their later years. The Alzheimer's Association tells us that 1 out of every 3 people over the age of 65 will develop Alzheimer's or another form of dementia. That's before we get to debilitating physical conditions or other neurological conditions like Parkinson's or ALS. Skilled nursing care is a reality for an alarmingly high percentage of the population. So why in all of my videos do I talk about putting certain tools into your power of attorney or into your will that have to do with eligibility for Medicaid? Why do I talk about that? Why not Medicare? You might be thinking throughout all of those videos, I have Medicare, I have a great plan, it's going to cover me. No, it will not. The answer to that question, to why you should never have a simple will or a simple power of attorney, is that the government has played favorites. And their policy choices will be okay for some of you, but for many, many people who develop dementia or develop other conditions that are not covered by Medicare, this will be bad news. So consider 2 neighbors. They're roughly the same age. They have roughly the same finances. One develops cancer, or maybe that one develops kidney disease or heart disease. The other neighbor next door, roughly same age, same finances, develops dementia. Their futures are drastically different, not just in terms of the care that they will receive. There's good news for the cancer patient in that medical science has made great strides in putting that cancer into remission. Whereas with dementia, despite all of the research, at best, some medication may slow down the progression of symptoms, but there's no getting off that train once you're on it. So that's one difference between the 2 of them, but the other difference will hit them in their wallets. The person who has cancer is really looking at acute care for the rest of their days. All of the care that they're going to need is going to be covered by Medicare. If they had open heart surgery, for God's sake, that would be covered by Medicare. The person next door who has dementia, they're not going to have much of anything covered by Medicare because they need long-term skilled nursing care, not covered by Medicare. And there's only a few ways to pay for that. You can privately come up with what is currently an average of about $15,000 a month or close to $180,000 every year for skilled nursing care in Pennsylvania. Maybe you could have long-term care insurance, but very, very few people have that because the premiums are so expensive. And the last option is Medicaid, which is why my videos talk about having Medicaid tools built into your estate planning as early as possible. So, through no fault of your own, you've developed one of these conditions in your later years. The statistics say that you probably will. So do you get cancer? Do you get heart disease, kidney failure? Well, the government has played favorites and the rules are in your favor if that's how it plays out for you, because Medicare will pay the cost. But if you're one of the people the Alzheimer's Association is talking about and you develop dementia, if you develop some neurological condition, if you need long-term skilled nursing care in your final years, remember that person who told you, it's okay, you just need a simple will. What good is a simple will if there's no money left to leave through that will to your loved ones? Because you're one of the people who needs long-term skilled care, now you have to worry about what your spouse is going to live on. If you have to come up with $15,000 every single month, then what's your spouse going to live on? What if you have children who depend upon you? This is where elder law attorneys come in, and I hate for the bottom line to be that you have to hire a lawyer. I'd love to give you tools, as I do in other videos, things you can go do by yourself. But the bottom line here is the government has played favorites. if you have to plan ahead for that being that person and you don't want to risk that your health will be just fine, if it's very likely you could be one of the people who needs long-term skilled care. And so you need to plan ahead. And the sooner you plan ahead, the more of your money you can save and take care of your family and still be eligible for Medicaid. But a lot of people don't know this. I'm asking you to take this to heart, that the government has played favorites. This might turn out fine for you in the future. Medicare might cover all of your medical needs, but it might not. And then you have to go through the maze of Medicaid regulations. Spread the word to everyone you know that if you're approaching your later years of life, maybe take another look at the legal planning you've done, your estate planning, your will, your power of attorney. If you know somebody who's going through having to look at long-term care facilities, again, there's a whole maze of regulations, but the bottom line is at the end of that maze, there is a way to preserve hard-earned savings for the family. This is what elder law attorneys do. If we can be helpful for any of these people you know, please tell them about Keystone Elder Law. My name is Patrick Cawley. I'd be happy to answer any questions you have.